Thanks to Brilliant Stars, V-Unions are not only playable, but they are actually good. Roll the intro. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Hitmonchanning video. Today, on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online, we are going to take a look at Pikachu V-UNION, one of my favorite decks to play now because it's just so much fun. It's so enjoyable to play, and I think it's actually really good and decently viable, somewhat viable. My list can use a little bit of modifications, it can use a little bit of editing. That's important to know, simply because I focused more on the V-Union side of things in this one and focused on getting your V-Unions out, where you may just want to focus on consistency a little bit more. But this deck, I think it's really good as it is. There's not a lot of changes I would make. Let's go through it really quick, get into the games, and hopefully get some good ones. So first off, Arceus V and Arceus V-STAR make it so easy to get a V-Union out. You can use the Star Birth ability, search your hand for 2 cards. Those can be 2 V-Union pieces. Discard them with Galarian Articuno V's Reconstitute ability, and then you already are half of the V-Union's way through getting into play. Now, you might be thinking, what happens if our V-Union piece is prized? Do we play Peonia? We do not play Peonia. We actually use Arceus as our other attacker, or Raikou V. Raikou fits in here really well for the fleet-footed ability, allowing us to get an extra card in our hand if it's in the active, and Lightning Rondo is just an all-around good attack. Now, it's a little bit weaker on the HP side of things, only having 200, but that 1 retreat cost allows so you can maybe attach from your hand to Raikou and retreat it if you need to, then getting energy into the discard to use our Flaffy with Dynamotor to power up our Pikachu V-Union or our Arceus V-STAR or whatever. It's really easy to get multiple attackers going super quick in this deck thanks to this build. The only other cards of note in here, I'd say Galarian Zigzagoon. I run one of those and 2 scoop up nets for pivot options, as well as getting that extra chip damage on there. I run Assurance Care, so you can use your Arceus V-STAR as a pivot, and plus you do deny your opponent a knockout if they don't take it in one shot. That's another reason I use the Big Charm, so 30 plus HP on the Arceus or the Pikachu is never a bad call. And Adventurous Discovery can just help you get set up, or even in the later parts of the game, you can search up V-Union pieces and discard them with Ultra Balls, which can also search out other V-Union pieces because it's any Pokemon, which can be discarded with Quick Balls, which can help you get basics. So the deck, there's a lot of moving gears, but the gears are well oiled and they move very smoothly. So yeah, that's pretty much the deck. We'll go through Pikachu V-Union really quickly here. One of its attacks disconnect for 2 lightning and a colorless, 150 damage, and it item locks your opponent. This is very strong against decks like that rely on a lot of item play, like Mew. If you can get a Pikachu V-Union out really quickly, you can item lock your opponent. And the good thing about Disconnect is it will take out any Meloetas. It'll 2-shot Genesect, and with a Choice Belt, it'll 2-shot Mew VMAX, or with Galarian Zigzagoon Ping. So that's really good and helpful. Shocking Shock, flip a coin if heads or opponent's active, his Pokemon is now paralyzed. Not really used as much, but for 2 energy, it's not too bad at all. And then the Union Gain attack for 1 colorless, attach up to 2 lightning from your discard pile to this Pokemon, which is fine. You don't find yourself using that very often because you don't really stick your V-Union in the active unless it's ready to attack. And the final attack, which is the strongest attack, Electro Ball together for 250 damage for a lightning, and a colorless. You can often get splat 280 with your Choice Belt, and you can take out Arceus V-Stars. You can take out any V-Star in the game that doesn't have a Big Charm on it or with damage reducing modifiers. And with enough luck and enough Galarian Zigzagoon Pings, you can actually take out some VMAXs. So that's pretty powerful. And now Pikachu V-Union has 300 HP with a Big Charm, that's 330, and that makes it one tanky boy to be able to do a good amount of damage. So this is my list. I'll have it in the description below. I'll talk about my changes at the end of the video as always, and let's get into some good games. Game here. We got the coin flip, and Tails never fails, as always. Except for this one time. This one time, Tails fails, but I promise you every other time it doesn't. Opponent's going to go first, but we got a good hand. And they had no basics, so we get extra cards. That's great. We have a really good hand right now. To get that turn 2 Trinity Charge, we can power up a Raikou maybe. They got Lightning Energy and Drizzile. I think they might be playing Jolteon, which will be interesting for us for sure, because a lot of our Pokemon, they're chunky. It takes 2 or 3 hits for them to get knocked out, especially by Jolteon. And if we can like limit Jolteon's ability to attack, we'll be chilling. They got that Saw Ball. Now let's see what they get down. They're playing a Great Ball. It's possible they're playing Defiant, Spark, Boltund. That's the only deck I know that plays Lightning, Great Ball, and the Saw Ball line. Another Great Ball coming down. I think that's what they might be playing. We'll see if they get the Yamper. They do. This deck is a lot of fun. I might revisit it. I used to play it a lot when it was first kind of teched, you know. So our opponent's going to be able to get a good setup here, but we're going to have an even better setup with the Pikachu V-UNION combo. No energy attachment. We got a good hand. We're just going to go ahead and get rid of one V-UNION piece. See what we have. We have a Raikou. And we have the 3 others, so that's good for us. So I'm going to grab that Raikou. And I'm going to Ultra Ball away a Research and a Lightning Energy. And we're going to grab V-UNION number 2. And we're going to discard it. And then we're going to grab Galarian Articuno, so we can discard the other pieces if need be. Attach this to the Raikou, and then we're just going to go ahead and Professor's Research, see what we can grab. We don't get anything crazy, but that's okay. I'm hoping that we can find that double turbo, so I'm going to dig for it a little bit more. Attach a Big Charm here and an Air Balloon here, and we'll Quick Ball away, unfortunately, a Challenge Care, because we only played 1. Grab a Mareep, because we can absolutely use that. Now, our bench space is pretty much full, but I'm going to Crobat. Hopefully, I can find some V-UNION pieces. No V-UNION pieces, but we're going to get rid of a Marnie and a Boss. So I need both these in hand. Get the double turbo. That's what I was digging all this time for. We're going to go ahead and Trinity Charge, and we'll take 3 energy, 1 on our Arceus, and put 2 on our Raikou. So now we got powered up board. I didn't check if the Arceus V-STAR was in deck. I think it is. Oh, they're gonna get rid of that? Okay, that's fine with me, because my Raikou's powered up and ready to go. So I can just retreat and play the Raikou and just start one-shotting everything that you throw at me, because my bench covers enough of the board. They're going to fail that Pokeball and go for the Scoop Up Net. Let's see what they come up with. If it's anything fancy. If it's any amazing plays. Got the level ball, so they could be going for another Gamper. They're gonna go play that Pokeball once again. Get ahead to grab that Sobble. So they're just focusing on setup more here because there's really not much they can do. That Fan of Waves is a tech that I never really thought of. And there comes the Boltund, the big boy. He's gonna come down if they have Old Cemetery plus energy, which they very well might. Got the Research. Discarding another Fan of Waves, 2 Fan of Waves. I guess for the Mew VMAX matchup. They got the Old Cemetery, they got the 1 energy, and they're going to be hitting us for 130 damage. Which, hey, that's nothing to scoff at, you know? 1 energy for 130 on a stage 1. You're going to be, with Choice Belt now, you're going to be 2-shotting VMAXs. Maybe it is time to revisit this card. But fortunately for us, we have an amazing hand. We don't need this Choice Belt. We don't really need any of this right now. We're just going to go ahead and research it all away. We've yet to find a Training Court, so that's helpful. We got a double turbo. Put that into play. And now, can attach that double turbo. And our power just doing 110. We're going to be able to knock it out. I'm going to actually Quick Ball away our Scoop Up Net. See, we do not have the V-STAR in deck, which is A-okay with me. We'll grab Lumineon for next turn. That's why I don't want to bench the Goon yet. We might as well Dynamotor for our backup attacker. Let's just put it on the Flaffy, I guess. Like, there's no reason not to right now. And then I am going to Power Edge and take a prize. Arceus V-STAR is fantastic. It allows us to get the V-UNION in play next turn, which is really good. What I might do if they counter stadium me with a collapse stadium, not collapse stadium, to counter stadium me with an old cemetery, I'm gonna play the collapse stadium, and I'm going to just get rid of my Crobat, and they'll have to be forced to get rid of something if they don't bench another Yamper or a Sobble, because there's no way they can continue on churning out Boltunds turn after turn if they don't get a good foundation off. And it looks like they have that here with the triple Drizzle coming down, being able to get that old cemetery, which they have. I'm gonna counter stadium with that collapsed stadium. Once I put my Pikachu V-UNION into play, which is what I'll do next turn. Now the Marnie's not good, and the KO isn't good because I have a knockout on my Arceus V-STAR, or Arceus V, so it doesn't really matter anyways. I got Adventurous Discovery though, which is actually fantastic for us because we can play that. We can get both V-UNION pieces, and we can even grab another Arceus if it's still in the deck. And we can actually get our Arceus V-STAR still up. Don't know why they're going for the quick shooting because they were taking me out anyway. It could have been better spent elsewhere. They're gonna go take 2 prizes, and we're gonna go ahead and take a prize this turn for sure. Let's just see what we can play. We can just Adventurous Discovery right here. I think that's probably the best idea. Grab both V-UNION pieces. Grab an Arceus V-STAR. And we will discard these. We'll grab the V-STAR. We're going to play the V-UNION. And eventually, over time, we will be able to get it into play. Dynamotor from the discard so we don't take damage. Can fleet-footed, see what else we can get. Maybe we can get another Flaffy down. We have the Goon. I think we actually might be able to get a Flaffy here. If there's one in the deck still. There is. So we can have a guaranteed Pikachu V-UNION next turn. And we're just going to go ahead and Lightning Rondo. Take another prize. Our V-UNION's in play. The game is still young. They played down the Manaphy. Doesn't matter to us. They're not one-shotting this Raikou. So we get another turn out of it, at least knocking out their Boltund. And then once the V-UNION comes around, that's where we are really going to lock them up, because I'm going to just keep spamming Disconnect. And by spamming Disconnect, they're not going to be able to play Great Balls or Pokeballs or Ordinary Rods or Evo Incenses or Scoop Up Nets or anything like that. They're going to be stuck. And that's where my game plan is going. They got the research down. They're digging through their deck, but then again, so are we. We have 11 cards left. They're going to be putting down Lightning Energy, grabbing 2 more Pokeballs from their discard. They're going to keep playing them. Get another Quick Shooter. So they're going to actually be hitting us for a solid 170 damage now. With a Choice Belt, they're actually knocking out the Raikou. That's a little bit scary. They have it. They're going to knock out our Raikou. Whew. I didn't expect that, but that's okay because we have the guaranteed Disconnect next turn with the knockout. That was a good play by my opponent. You know, sometimes you just can't be mad at it, right? Now, they just need to take one more knockout on the V, right? That's all they need to do. But we got the double Pikachu, or double Flaffy, I mean. So we can just Dynamotor. Boom. Dynamotor again. Boom. Play down that Arceus, and we'll put double turbo on it, so we're ready to go. We are gonna retreat, and here is where the fun begins. We're gonna hit Disconnect, and we're gonna take a prize. Now the only thing they can do is if they find, they got the Boltund, they need their energy, they need a boss. And, well, they can't play a Choice Belt, actually, so it doesn't matter. They play the energy down. Take that 20 damage. They can't play any Ball Search, which means they can't get another Shady Dealer. You can use your ability. Sure, go for it. You can't play those. and you won't be able to play those. So they're going to amass just a huge hand. But the good thing about us is we have Arceus V-STAR next turn, and we can evolve that, and we can grab a counter stadium. We can grab Collapse Stadium. So they're going to hit the Crobat. They have the boss, but they don't have the knockout. We live on 10 HP. We need to find that Collapse Stadium ASAP, which is, as long as it's not in the discard, we got it. Gonna first Electro Ball, not Electro Ball, Dynamotor to our V-STAR. Next, we're gonna Starbirth. We need a Collapse Stadium, and we need. What else do we just need a switch, right? Collapse Stadium is benched Pokemon, yeah. So we need to switch first, and that's what we'll do. Play the switch into a V-Union. Later Gator, Collapse Stadium, goodbye Crobat. They're going to get rid of the Manaphy. And I wouldn't be surprised if they scoop here, because there's not, honestly, a whole lot they can do. Attach to that Flaffy. That Flaffy can retreat now. And we're going to disconnect, once again, locking them from playing any items. And this is where the power of Pikachu V-Union is, because we've basically checkmated our opponent. They can't one-shot anything on our bench. Or, sorry, they can one-shot our Flaffies. Sure, they can one-shot our Flaffies. The thing is, they can't play Ball Search. They can't find their Boltunds. They can't find their energies. In my build, I play Energy Search. We got another Air Balloon. That's good for us. We can actually scoop up Netta Flaffy because we don't need it. And there's a scoop. There it is. Our Pikachu V-Union was too strong for the opponent. A deck that, in theory, should have absolutely destroyed us. If you're doing 170 damage per turn. 170 damage per turn. And, that should take 2-shot our Pikachu V-Union, but they couldn't even hit it, actually. They couldn't do anything. So we just locked them out of playing the game, basically, and that's how you win those. That was a prime example of something that Pikachu V-Union does that no other deck could have. We're in another game here. My opponent is calling the coin flip, and we won, so we are going to be going first. Hopefully we get a good hand. And we do get a good hand. Plus we get that mulligan. Oh, that's what you like to see. The 2 switch is a little unfortunate, but you know, we could be good. If we get a double turbo, we'll be good. Mulligan of 2. Playing against Single Strike, this is gonna be a nice test for our Pikachu V-Union deck. Because we can lock up Single Strike pretty bad. Now, okay, we got an okay hand. So maybe an Ultra Ball, both those away. We have 3 Pikachu pieces, and we have the Arceus in our hand, the V-STAR. So what I want to do is I want to get this V-Union. And I'm going to put that away, get this Raikou out. And we'll go into the Raikou. Fleet-footed. Ultra Ball, that's good. Unfortunately, we gotta get rid of Chair and Switch, which sucks. But, oh, we don't have the Crobat either? Man. Okay, at least we can bring our Arceus V into play. It sucks that we didn't get an attachment this turn, because next turn we would have been able to take out the Houndour, but you know what? We got a decent setup, so I'm not too disappointed. We can actually get a new... we can get an Arceus V-STAR attack off next turn. We still have an Air Balloon left. We're down 2 switch, but it's possible. And we got that extra card off of Fleet-footed, so you never know. You know what? You never know what the game will deal. My opponent's got a Crobat. They're going to Crobat for 2. That's what it looks like, unless they play more stuff down. Playing Energy, Crobating for 3. Oh, man. I mean, for their sake, I hope they can get their Urshifu down. For my sake, I hope they don't. They got the Urshifu, okay. Well, at least that they don't get an attachment on the Urshifu, and they had to attach it to the Houndour. That's good for us. That's really good for us, because we were a little bit behind. They're gonna go for the retreat. They can't attach, unless they put like a turbo patch or something, but you know, I doubt that, heavily doubt that. So let's just see. let's just see what they decide to do. They're probably gonna pass here unless they have a switch in hand and they switch into something else, but they don't. It's our turn. Okay, we got a lightning energy, so this is my dilemma, right? Obviously, we're gonna evolve, and we should fleet-footed first. So I have Starbirth, right? Okay, I'm gonna Marnie. I really need to find the Flaffy. Okay, we got Training Cord as well if we need it. Okay, that's good, that's good. So we're going to play this, Ultra Ball away, Energy, and this. Get ourselves Flaffy, we're good. Now, my opponent can't actually hit us hard next turn, because now we just go for the Arceus, and we Starbirth, and we grab Air Balloon, and we grab Double Turbo. Alright, we're chilling. We're chilling. We've salvaged the hand. We attach this, and I think I actually do want to play that, because we're gonna Trinity Nova for 180, and we're gonna take out 3 energy from the deck, and we'll put one here, and then we'll put another one on the Arceus. Now, the reason I do this is because if I want to retreat, I'll take off the Double Turbo, and I'll play my other Lightning Energy onto it. Therefore, I can actually start hitting for 200 now, because we're set up. We got Raikou. Raiku's not hitting hard just yet, but we have 2 pieces of V-Union in the discard. So that's good for us. Our next turn, when we take the knockout, we'll get 3 prizes, hopefully, if they evolve. If not, we get 2 prizes. 2 prizes is still good. We still have the possibility to get something useful. Bossing up the Flaffy, that's okay, because we got our Air Balloon on. That's the good thing about having a small board state this early in the game, is that we kind of checkmated them into like a stalemate, kind of. They can't boss something up to trap it. We have the Air Balloon. Now, the only thing they can do here is if they attach to the bench and they retreat somehow, but they don't. So we're going to be taking that knockout, which is good. We have the Air Balloon. I think I'd actually rather just go into Raikou, so we can get that extra fleet-footed card, and we have knockout on this guy anyway. So, drew boss's orders. That's okay. I'll attach this here, just for now. So you can play down Goon. I think we'll just ping the Urshifu for now. And Lightning Rondo is going to do... It's not going to KO that. So we'll just hit here. There are 2 prizes, hopefully for the V-Union piece. We got that V-Union piece. Alright, we're good. Now we just need a way to discard it. We need a way to draw cards now. The good thing about this is maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to hit us. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? They got another Houndour. They can... Okay, so they're going to have the VMAX, or they're going to have a Houndoom. They got the Houndoom, so depending on what their last card in hand is, they might be able to get an attack off. Oh, their last card was an energy, so they're going to be able to knock out my Raikou, but that's okay because I have a plan, maybe. If I can find a scoop up net, I have a plan. Just depends on what we can do. Maybe we might boss knock out the Crobat. That could be the play. A double turbo. Not too much going on for us right now, so I'm going to just Dynamotor to the Flaffy. This is a very bunk match, but we're just going to attach there. And I'm going to... Maybe the Houndoom's the play. Because with that, they're actually just knocking us out with Beatdown. So I think we actually have to do the Crobat. So we need more cards. So we're going to Trinity Nova, take out that Crobat. We're going to fail it. And we grab Quick Ball. That's good. And we grab Flaffy. Okay. Alright, those are good prizes. So we can Quick Ball with a Pikachu V-Union and we can get our Luminion. And then we just Luminion for... I don't know. We can Luminion for whatever we want. They're going to be able to Impact Blow and knock out the Arceus now, which is a little bit concerning. But you know what? That's okay. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. We're having a good time here. So I'm gonna, what I think I'm gonna do is Quick Ball with Pikachu. Then we will, it depends on our draw. I know Quick Ball with Pikachu, but do I grab the Minion or do I grab another Flaffy? Or Mareep, sorry. That's what we'll have to see. We've yet to see a VMAX from my opponent here, though. So I'm curious as to if they just didn't have any, or if they haven't come across any yet. There are 30 cards into the deck. They get the Impact Blow, then get the Arceus. They might be saving it, who knows. Now, with enough luck, we'll be able to attack with the Pikachu next turn. Okay, we get Research, so that changes my plan up a little bit. Play that down, and we'll grab Articuno. And we will research this away. Oof. Okay, we're gonna grab an energy. We don't need this. We'll thin out the deck and grab the Minion. Actually, no, we'll grab Mareep. Play that down. Get to reconstitute away. So we don't really. We could use Adventurous Discovery next turn. Get rid of Marnie and Research because we have draw support. So get rid of those. Draw Arceus. We're not gonna play it though. I'm actually gonna do this, and I'm gonna Dynamotor to Articuno in case we need to retreat it. And I'm gonna have to Electro Ball. This Flaffy's gonna come in clutch. Don't even worry, because they're not gonna be able to one-shot me with the base V because of our resistance. So we'll have to see. And the rest of my board is one prizers. So it'll be a tough go against this single strike matchup. But we'll see what my opponent has in store. My opponent's got a Fighting Energy from their discard pile. Probably gonna Quick Ball that same energy away. And now let's see what they get. Maybe they're gonna grab another bat, because I know some single strike lists play 2 bats. It's possible. It's very possible. We'll just take a look and see what my opponent has in store for us. Could be getting another Houndour, or that's what they're gonna grab. I was gonna say they could be getting an Umbreon just in preparation so they can get that boss guaranteed. One turn, but we'll take a look and see what my opponent has in store. Looks like they're struggling to come up with a play. That wouldn't have been my best guess, but if they have the Urn in hand and they can single strike Roar, but looks like they can't actually. Well, yeah, they need the Urn in hand because that's 2 in the discard. So we'll take a look and see. Take a look and see what we can do. We're gonna Adventurous Discovery first and foremost. Grab both of these, and we're gonna reconstitute. No, not Lumineon. Ooh, that could be bad. Pikachu's gone. Now we can get into play. And we actually do have the training court for a toggle. So when we end up using Lumineon, we can play, not training court, Collapse Stadium. We'll play Collapse Stadium, and we can get it out of here. But we have Pikachu V-UNION coming through. Something I'll do right now actually is I'll scoop up the Zigzagoon. We'll save that boy for later. And I'm gonna training court back Lightning Energy. Attach. So our Pikachu is almost good to go. Almost, but I think the best play here is actually just to Electro Ball and to wait. Because I'd rather not switch, I'd rather not give them that option. Unless maybe if they have boss in hand. Oh, you know what I could have done? Oh man. I could have Zigzagooned. I could have Zigzagooned the Houndoom and got up a Pikachu and Shocking Shock or whatever. The thing is though, my opponent's hand is pretty dead. Oh, but they got the Marnie! Oh man. That means no boss though, which is good. Means Pikachu is our last hope. I used only one scoop up net, so if we can find the other, we can get that Mareep back in hand after this Flaffy's done, and we can be rolling with Pikachu. Let's just see what we got going. Our boss is now at the bottom of the deck, which is not the best for us. They found their urn so they can utilize Single Strike Roar again. The fact that there's been no VMAX coming out this whole time, it makes me I'm intrigued if they even play it. Because playing it, not playing it is an interesting choice, because then you don't have access to Beatdown. But it looks like they've got their board set up. They're going to be KOing our Falafi with Lightning Energy. And now, if we're unable to get boss here, I don't think we can do too much. We have to bring up Pikachu, and we're going to have to hope for the best. So first off, we attach. We'll leave that off for now. We will reconstitute these two away. Scoop up net. We can take the scoop up net. And I don't think there's much we can do here. I'm gonna Marnie this away. We got the choice belt, so I think I'll get rid of a choice belt and an energy. And Luminion, we have boss in the deck still. That Marnie really messed us up. So now I think the plan has to be, because they can just retreat this next turn, the plan has to be disconnect and hope that they don't get an energy, right? What's in their discard? They don't have an energy in their discard. That's the plan. The plan is to disconnect them. That means they can't play Urn. If they don't have an energy in their hand, then we just win. Flat out. We flat out win because we have boss. So we'll have to see. It's been a close game. Just gotta take a look. If they have the energy in hand, it's basically over. If not, then we win. Because all single strike energy are on the board. They can't, or in the discard. They can't earn. So if they found that energy, then we are in a tough spot. And by in a tough spot, I mean we lose. They're gonna research. They're gonna go dig for it. They do have VMAX, because they had the VMAX. But I don't know many lists that play more than 2 energy, because they've been recycling it a lot. So their other option would be to concede. There we go. Pikachu V-UNION disconnects once again, coming in clutch. That was a little bit of a weird game. My opponent and I both had a little bit, board states were a little bit weird, but we did well, and we outplayed them in the sense that you gotta call their bluff sometimes, you know, and you can't, sometimes you gotta take the risk, and the risk in our end paid off. I think I'm going to end the video here about Pikachu V-UNION. We got some pretty cool games, and the V-UNIONs, they're good. Now, you need to be incredibly consistent in order to get them out all the time. 24/7, 365. This deck has a little bit of issues not getting the consistency. The things I would change are all about Arceus V-STAR. I know Arceuses are not the easiest to get if you're on a budget, or if you are playing online. They're a lot to trade for. I got lucky and opened all these Arceuses. I didn't even trade for any of them. I would bump this up to probably a 3-3 line or a 4-3 line. And you think that's a lot, and it is, but that's because you need to ensure you get your Arceuses down quickly. Because then it's not even for the Trinity Nova or the Trinity Charge attacks. It is just so you can get your Pikachu V-UNION into play via the ability Starbirth. That's pretty much why you need to get them down. And then you can make it so much more consistent. You can get this deck to go sky high, and you can get it really good. Other than that, you can maybe move the Galarian Zigzagoon if you find you don't need it. I found that in situations it does come in clutch, and it does help me, especially as a pivot option. But you can even take out your goons and just put more consistency cards in. But then again, you don't really need more consistency cards. I can maybe see you taking away a goon and putting in an extra boss. I can see, well, if you take away the goon and the scoop ups, you can make room for another single Arceus and 2 V-Stars, right? If you have those, that's probably what I would suggest you do. Because you have 2 Switch, you have 2 Air Balloon, you have Starbirth, so the likelihood of you running into your switching cards is pretty high. You'll probably get there. And even Charon's Care can act as a pivot card if your Arceus V-STAR is damaged. The other things I'd consider adding in here are a Pal Pad. because just mostly for the Chair and Scare, Professor Burnett, Venture's Discovery, they're all one-ofs. You might find yourself in a situation where you need it again. You need another one. And the Pal Pad mitigates that, because you can Pal Pad and then Arceus V-STAR, or you can Pal Pad and Reconstitute for a draw, Crobat for a draw, Lumineon. You have a lot of options with this deck, and that's what I really like. I'm quite happy with the Raikou in here. You could change it for a Raichu V. I tried that. It didn't work out too well. There's natural synergy with getting the energy into the discard. Then you can put them back onto the Pikachu. You can kind of move your energy around in that way. Especially with Galarian Articuno and Reconstitute. But other than that, maybe the only one last thing I would say is putting in an Aurora Energy, so that allows you to attack with Lumineon, Articuno, or Crobat. Because sometimes you just don't have another option. But if you bump up your Arceus count, you'll absolutely be able to be devastating with this deck. I really like the Collapse Stadium in here. It really helps in getting rid of your support Pokemon, because we actually run 2 prize support Pokemon, which is a lot. Normally you run 2 max. 3 can be a little bit risky, and especially in taking up your bench space. So the Collapse Stadium allows you to kind of toggle which ones that you have in play on and off. And then, you could add another Flaffy line if you want to consistently get your V-Unions. I don't think it's necessary, though. I really don't. Because of Double Turbo, I think you don't really need to have another Flaffy in here. Maybe if you just want to ensure in case there's some surprise. But other than that, I think you're really solid. And yeah, that sums up what I would change. I think that the Arceus line is the only thing that needs to be bumped up in here. That's simply just if you can, honestly. But other than that, the deck is really strong. People don't give V-Unions as much respect as they deserve, you know. My V-Union gang, where you at? Because they're really powerful now with Ultra Balls and with Starbirth especially. They're really, really powerful. I tried this out with the Inteleon line, and it's okay. A little bit more consistent, but you don't have that way to power up your Pokemon fast enough. That's where Arceus comes in handy. I can do a video on the Inteleon build if you would like. I very well might, because the build I tried was a little bit outdated with the current meta, and I can try putting more stuff into it and try changing it around to help it out a little bit more. So we'll see. But other than that, thank you guys very much for watching. I have a lot more fun decks coming your way down the line. And yeah, remember to like the video, subscribe, follow my Twitter and my Instagram. Those will be both linked in the description. And let me know if you guys want to see any other cool decks, what you think of this one. And yeah, other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Hitmonchanning, out.